Hello, fellow dreamers. I had a dream interpretation that I really wanted to share with y'all tonight. A couple of weeks ago, the dream symbol of the week that I shared was airplanes. And I shared a few posts just on kind of what airplanes mean and what they can symbolize in dreams. And if you didn't catch those, I would recommend you probably going back and listening to those before listening to this, because then it'll all make sense a little bit more. But this was a great dream, and I wanted to share it because chances are some of you might have had a dream like this, or at least with this same kind of theme or this kind of scenario, and that is airplanes crashing. So let me set the dream up, okay? I'll give you some context and then we'll dive into the interpretation. So let me start out by telling you, okay, the dreamer, I know her, and she is a mom who has special needs kids, okay? But in the dream, a fellow mom of special needs kids, somebody that she knows who also has special needs kids, was flying a private airplane. And she was going along, and then all of a sudden, she crashed her airplane into another small airplane that was kind of like hers. And the dreamer is watching this whole thing kind of from the ground. She's seeing it all happen, but then all of a sudden she's able to run over to the other mom to check on her and just to make sure, like, oh my gosh, are you okay? Are you okay? And when she saw the crash take place, she could kind of tell that the planes kind of got entangled and there was parts flying everywhere. But when she got to the other mom, she was okay. She had survived it. There was a sense that the dreamer had that her plane was kind of gone, but her seat and where she was sitting was all intact and she was fine. She was just staring straight ahead, almost like in shock. So what does that mean? In dreams, okay, let me say this first of all. Whenever you see things crashing, okay, like airplanes crashing, and you know that there is some sort of collateral damage, okay, like in this case, there was pieces of the airplanes flying everywhere. That usually represents that there's going to be some level of conflict that is going to come up in the near future. And that's exactly what this dream was meant to reveal to the dreamer. First of all, let me say also the other mom, she was flying a private airplane. Okay, so this kind of gives us an idea that that mom probably has a very independent spirit about her, right? And she was going to run into conflict with somebody else who also had a very independent spirit. So we're seeing here that she runs into another airplane, she crashes into another airplane with somebody who's very much in the same stage of life, kind of in the same kind of scenario as she is, and has a lot of the same bent, I guess you could say. But the good thing about the dream is that she survived the crash, right? She was shocked, and she was just kind of like staring, and you could tell like she was overwhelmed by the whole thing. She was shocked, but she survived it. And I noticed that the dreamer said that she really, it felt to her like when she was watching the whole thing happen and she ran over to the other mom, that it was almost like the mom had lost her airplane. So what is all of this meant to represent, and why would God give that dream to this dreamer? Well, more than likely what this is communicating is that the other mom is about to come into a place of conflict with another mom or somebody else who's in kind of like a similar situation with her. And through that process, it's going to be shocking. There's going to be some conflict there. But ultimately, what's going to happen as a result of that is this other mom is going to let go of that independent spirit that she carries. And why would God give the dream to this dreamer? Because God is probably going to use her through that process to minister to that other mom, to be a friend to the other mom, to be a support there for the other mom, maybe just be there, right, when she goes through this difficult situation. But that is why God would entrust that dream to somebody else like that. So she's gonna be there, she's gonna witness it all happen, and she's gonna see it kind of taking place right in front of her. But then it's going to be an opportunity for her to come in and to start speaking to this other mom, to speak life, and just to make sure, like she did in the dream, are you okay? Like making sure that to be a comfort and to be a wise counsel. So when we have dreams like this, should we share them with the other person if we know that it involves somebody else? Usually not. No. God is giving that dream to the dreamer for the purpose of intercession, for the purpose of preparation. Ideally, what the dreamer can do is pray into this and ask the Lord that if it's at all possible that this level of conflict will not happen, and that the means and the purposes that God wants to accomplish in her life would come about some other way, right? We can appeal to the mercy and the grace of God in that situation. But if not, it's good to just continue to pray into it and just be ready in and out of season, knowing that God is going to use her to speak life into this other mom's life. What an incredible dream, right? And what an incredible honor that God would bestow on another person to say, look, I'm going to let you kind of be privy to this. I'm going to let you see what's about to take place, but I'm also going to entrust you as somebody who will be an intercessor, somebody who will stand in the gap and be there to step in when you are needed, to shine a light and to be salt and life in somebody else's life. What a great, great opportunity. So conflict, okay, that's usually what we see when we see crashes taking place in dreams. Now, if she had crashed into a building, or if she had crashed into a tree or something else like that, then obviously that would tilt the interpretation in a different direction, okay? But in this scenario, it meant that she was going to most likely run into somebody else who was very much along the same line as she was. I hope you enjoyed this interpretation. Thanks so much for the dreamer who shared it with us, and for letting me be a part of this journey with you guys. I truly enjoy it. Keep dreaming, y'all.